The Claremont serial killings have haunted Perth for over 20 years.
Every parent's nightmare.
Really quite terrifying.
Vanished from the same area.
Australia's longest running police investigation.
We certainly have fears that there is a serial killer at loose in Perth.
Sarah Spears was the first young woman to disappear. It was Australia Day, 1996. The 18-year-old had been celebrating at Club Bayview in Claremont, a wealthy Perth suburb. Just after 2 a.m, she booked a taxi from a nearby phone booth. But when the cab arrived, just a few minutes later, she'd gone.
I must admit that as the hours go by, I get more and more concerned, yes.
Sarah Spears has been missing ever since. 4 months later, 23-year-old Jane Rimmer disappeared from the Continental Hotel, just around the corner from Club Bayview. This security vision shows her standing outside, in the bottom left-hand corner by a pole. Soon after, she vanishes. Police now believe there's a connection between the two disappearances, setting up the Macro Task Force, a murder inquiry that would go on to investigate over 3,000 people and become Australia's longest and most expensive manhunt.
Good morning, Crime Stoppers. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jane Rimmer's body was discovered 8 weeks later in bushland south of Perth.
No, the body had not been buried. There had been an attempt to conceal the body, but it was in dense bush.
The following year, a third woman, Kyra Glennon, goes missing after visiting the same hotel. She'd only just flown home to Perth from overseas to attend her sister's wedding. She left the hotel just after midnight and was last spotted on nearby Stirling Highway.
We're presuming that her intentions were to catch a cab and go home.
Less than a month later, Ms Glennon's body is found in bushland north of Perth.
Preliminary investigation at the scene reveals the body to be that of a female, and it appears to be that of Kyra Glennon.
The city's 5,500 taxi drivers were in the frame, urged to provide saliva samples and fingerprints.
I think it's absolutely foolish to catch a cab home by yourself if you're a female.
But then police honed in on one particular man, Lance Williams.
For the past 12 months, Perth police have followed this man 24 hours a day.
A civil servant seen driving around Claremont at night, offering women lifts home.
Are you the serial killer?
No.
Are you innocent?
Yes.
The 41-year-old suspect continues to be a key focus of the investigation.
Mr Williams and his elderly parents endured constant police surveillance for more than 2 years. He was never charged and eventually dismissed as a person of interest. But his name will forever be linked to the killings. Mr Williams died in 2018. Police were heavily criticised for their focus on one suspect. The macro investigation's lack of results led to multiple reviews. It was almost disbanded. Then, 20 years after the first victim went missing, an arrest.
The West Australia Police has made a significant breakthrough in this long-running case.
48-year-old former Telstra worker Bradley Robert Edwards has been charged with the murders of Sarah Spears, Jane Rimmer and Kyra Glennon. He denies the charges. He has admitted to raping a 17-year-old girl at Karrakatta Cemetery in 1995 and attacking another woman in her home 7 years earlier.